Hey, what's up? It's your boy Greg. Great. Hold on. That's better. It's your boy Greg. Dope Living TV live. The views that are expressed on this Dope Living TV live are not necessarily the views of Dope Living TV or its affiliates. Having said that, thank you guys for coming through, following through with us every single day. The family is growing. All right. And one reason why we're growing, because we get the right people involved. One of those right people is my brother, my new brother, who probably been around for a long time and just finally got a chance to get the veil off. My brother Jeff. What's going on?
Hey, what's up, man?
Man, I am chilling. Look thinner. It's all good, baby. Everything's great. Look thinner, part of the family as well. Man, it's a beautiful day today.
Yes.
Saw a couple of things. We'll talk about that later. But today we got some stuff to talk about.
Yes, sir. I read that thing and I was looking. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, we gonna hit on some good points today.
Woo, you gonna hit on some good points. You're gonna see me sitting back chilling.
I hear you.
I can't. It's an old saying. You can't say nothing good. So sometimes don't say it. Now
it's true.
I'm a guy that always breaks that on this show. I always break that, but it's okay. That's why I got my family. You guys reel me in, hold me down. So
that's what we're here for, man. We lift each other up. We help out.
That's correct, man. How's the wifey?
She's doing okay. She's doing all right.
That's
she's
all
been
good.
Feeling okay lately. Just taking it easy.
It's all good, man. Nice to touch you, Marcella.
Hi.
Hey, Marcella. Oh, Jesus.
We got a good one today, Marcella.
Okay, I'm ready. I am ready.
Oh, I bet you are. Boy, I was getting a lot of inboxes with and there were three things. Let me read them first. Why do women withhold sex when things don't go their way? Is that okay in a marriage? Should you tell your spouse what you think they want to hear just to get something from them? You know what I mean when I say something. And could you survive a long distance relationship? I guess they just said the other two I don't want to talk about. They they went in on the withholding sex when things go their way. I got a lot of inboxes. I got some people that commented. What's going on, Look Thinner? She said, hey, all right, so first I pulled up to the house and I saw an ambulance, not at my house, but at the house down the block. Saw an ambulance. And a lot of people were out there, and I'm like, well, what's going on? So they told me that there was a lady that died. She had sickle cell, something like that. Not sickle cell, but I'm thinking of yesterday's program. She has some kind of problem. She was an older lady, and she died in the house, and everybody was on the block was just out there. So condolences to that family. I didn't even know she was still living there. I saw her years ago, but I didn't know she was still living there. So condolences to the family, praying for you guys, for your strength. It's real out there, man. Life is something else. Life is something else.
Precious.
It is precious, man. You know what? God has us all. And when it's our time, it's our time. And there's nothing we can do about that. So let's enjoy what we got right now. And celebrate those as we do here on Dope Living TV. We celebrate those that are doing their thing, that are living, that are breathing, that are making a difference, such as the people that are on here. So, I love you guys, man, and celebrate you guys.
Love you as well.
Thank you, sir. We love you too, man.
Condolences to the family. All right, let's get in, man. Get in.
Got inboxes too.
Huh?
I got inboxes on that too.
You can, and at any point you can read them and say what's up, because I'm like, okay. So I just asked the women, not necessarily women, I ask everybody, okay. And Jeff, I'm gonna count on you to hold this down today, bro.
Hey, we gonna keep it a nice little level playing field here. We might have to be like, hey, we got a foul on the play, ref, flag,
I got a feeling there's gonna be a bunch of these today.
Yeah, it's gonna be some core comments of the day. It is.
I got a feeling. That's why we got the little bottle so it can just fit completely in there. You know?
There you go.
All right, so let's get it. Let's get it. Why? Oh, why
Mhm.
do women withhold sex when things don't go their way? Now, before you start, I got an inbox that said, "Well, hey, Greg, men do it too."
Correct.
They do, but not as frequently as well. There's not too many men out there that's gonna say, "Hey, well, if you don't do this, I'm not gonna give it to you." Not too many, I don't think. You know, correct me if I'm wrong.
This is true. This is,
Go ahead.
This is my I see it like this. You know, a lot of women. Let me rephrase. Let me rephrase. You know, I can't say a lot. I'll just say some women.
A number of
women. You know, when we go ahead and we go through that, it's viewed as more of like that power move because they know what we want. You know what I mean? They know that that's a desire that we have. See, women have a desire too, but I do know a lot of women who can kind of keep it at bay. You know what I mean? And constantly, like most women, you know, they kind of be scared to like talk about it or, you know what I mean, really expose that because they don't want to be viewed as something else. But I feel that when you with your mate, you know what I mean, that's that bond that you have with that person.
Right.
You know what I mean? Especially in a marriage, you know what I mean? That's that bonding of that person. You shouldn't be so scared to talk about different desires, different things you want a person to do, stuff like that. The Bible says the marriage bedroom is undefiled. You know what I mean? So y'all have at it. Do your thing. Talk, discuss, break it down, explore. Hey, that's up to you. You know what I mean? Yeah, so that's the thing. So, and it just seems like it's more of a power move because women, once again, women know what we want, you know? And I'm going to be honest, if I ever said that, you know, I didn't want, it's not a big thing with me because this is what I noticed. When you have things going on or different things you attending to and your agenda, like with business, anything like that, see, you can balance that out. And like I said, when I did stuff in my past, you know what I mean? Like I told y'all before, I understood the value of sex, how powerful it can be. Right. So when you understand how powerful it can be as well, and how people read it, your adult side is going to tend not to want to abuse that a little bit. You know what I mean? If you out there getting it, you out there getting it. Exactly. You out there getting it. But if you know how powerful it can truly be, you want to be like, all right, let me back and let me see if I can be with somebody who would actually cherish that connection. You feel me?
That's a great way to say it. Marcy, you want to say something about that?
Okay, I'm going to read a couple of my what people have sent in to me. It says some withhold due to personal reasons, such as depression, stress, etc. Sometimes it has nothing to do with just going their way or the power thing. And then wait a minute, let me see if I can read this one. They said
too heavy for you, huh?
No, just they used Negro. I'm withholding sex because you said something 2 months ago to me that was out of pocket, and I'm still holding grudges, and I'm not just feeling you right now. So that's what a couple people sent in to me. Sometimes and that is a lot, but that goes to that power thing with that answer. Yeah. And then the other one, it can be depression or stress or an illness. Okay.
It has to be communicated about. You know, you can't just. We're not going to. As a man, I'm not going to just assume that it's an illness. I'm assume like what you mad for. What's going on? Okay. Right. Look, then it says maybe that is the only way she or he can get what they want. Even let's say need. Maybe the communication is broken. That's what it just said.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. You have to talk to each other, and that's. Communication is the key to just about any relationship, period. Whether it's a male, female, or a work-related relationship, you have to learn how to communicate. Because when you start talking about all these hints and people trying to leave hints and read between the lines, I don't know about other people, but I'm not into hints and reading between the lines. Just come right out. Okay, if you're gonna hurt my feeling, just tell me.
So, and this is just me speaking. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. You start withholding as a woman. You start withholding sex from me. I'm going to think one or two things. Either you're mad at me, or you getting it from somebody else. Okay, and that's not cool for me. All right. So, and women, Marcella, everybody say hello, Gina.
Hey,
Uh,
Gina.
let's
Hi, I'm in the
let's
car,
keep.
you guys.
Okay, what's up, Gina? But let's keep it 100. If a man was to start withholding sex, the first thing you guys are going to think, you're not going to think he mad. Y'all going to think he
Who
doing
you
some.
getting it from?
Exactly. Where you going? Who you going to on the
There it is.
outside? That's just, and I dealt with that. I dealt with that thought from my ex-wife, and it tell you the truth. It was it was never the fact that I didn't think she was undesirable to me. It was when you keep pushing, you keep coming at somebody, you get behind them, you try to show them effect, but they push you away. See, I got so used to being pushed away that I was just like that. Then it just didn't become a big thing to me.
Exactly.
It just didn't become a big thing, Like I'll be very candid and transparent. I had gone months without anything, and you just get used to it. I used other things like bowling and other stuff, going out with my friends, doing other things like business, trying to think about different concepts to fill in those gaps.
Yeah.
But then when it came to me, and it's like, oh well, I didn't feel like doing nothing. Well, then that's when my mind started going, thinking and I'm like, well, babe, you didn't look at what you was giving me before. Well, what's wrong with that? Why is it such a double standard? Why I got to be the one out cheating when I didn't assume this what was wrong with you? I gave you your pass, and I said, you know what? Maybe you just not feeling it. But when we tried to talk about it, like Marcy said, communication is the key. You gotta have that communication going back and forth. Men ain't mind readers. Women aren't mind readers either.
Right.
If something's bothering you, that's up to you as an adult to express that to your partner. But when you start getting away of stuff like that, it's rocky and shaky ground, yo.
It is. It is. Look, then it says hearing and listening are two different things.
It's true.
I think, and see the hearing part of it. Look, then is she going off or he's going off, and you've been like, okay, but listening, taking it in and saying, okay, maybe that is something that I'm doing wrong, or maybe that is something that I can do better. That's the key. So that's a great comment.
Yeah.
That's a great comment. But again, and especially doing what I do, you know what, if you can, and there's a thing that men always say, well, if you're gonna keep on accusing me of it, I might as well do it. That's not always good. Well, no, I'm not gonna say it's always good. It's not good at all. Okay, but
Correct.
You push him to a point. You push a man to a point. You keep accusing him, and he's not doing anything. Look, you come into a beautiful home. You got you a nice car. You ain't got to worry about nothing because I come in 10 minutes later than what I said. Because that's why I never say. You ask me, well, what time you gonna be here? I'm gonna be there when I get there. Okay, I'm not gonna give you an exact time. Okay, but if you come in 10 minutes later than what you said you were gonna come in. Okay, you said you'd be home 10 minutes ago. You said you'd be home 15 minutes ago. Exactly. You said you'd be home an hour ago. Okay, there's traffic. Maybe you stop to go to the store, get some food or anything. Okay, she's not taking that into consideration. First thing she says, you doing somebody else. And I'm being nice just because it's only 7 o'clock. Kids might be watching.
You gotta wait till 8, right?
I gotta wait till 8:45 now.
Oh wow. Gina
and Chris got me on cursing lockdown, which is good.
That's lockdown.
Yeah, you know, baby steps.
It's been helping. I don't curse as much. I leave that to Ujimar. Look, then it says, I have heard of a woman who had gained weight after babies. She hated the way she looked, so she pushed her husband away when he wanted to be with her. See, again, don't assume because just don't. You got to communicate.
Mm-hmm. It's the reason why that man keep pushing up on you, yo. He still think you attractive. He still believes you attractive. See, and that's why it's about. See, some women deal with it's confidence. Remember I talked about that self-love, knowing who you are and everything. That's being able to love yourself, whatever type of skin you into. And if you don't like that, always remember you can change it.
Okay. Yeah.
You have the ability to change that. You don't owe it. You don't have to stay with the weight on. I know some people may be tough to lose weight, but experiment with stuff. See what works. You know what I mean? Maybe incorporate that man in there with you. Be like, babe, I really need some help doing this. Y'all know how to use that charm on us. Y'all know how to give us that little hand, wink, and then we can follow some things with you,
Exactly. So,
You
Marcy,
know, I haven't,
now go ahead.
I have another reason why women might withhold. If you are starting to feel like you're nothing but a hole, HOLE,
I'm gonna get to that,
to
Marcy.
your significant other, okay,
But go ahead.
because that can be an issue.
Mhm.
Whereas, okay, breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks in between, come home from for lunch. When you get home from work, it's like, let's hook up, let's do, and constantly, and it's like there's no other substance to that relationship. So it can become, whereas, okay, is that all I am to you? And it's like,
Mhm.
you know what? Let me just shut all that down, because it's like, then sometimes, I was in that with my marriage
Mm.
24/7. No, I don't want you to work. I don't want you to go to school. I was in school full time. I had a full time job, part time job. You promised when we went to the East Coast, you can go to school, work. No, I want you at home. That's all. So if I roll over, you're there. If I'm trying to cook, you're there. I come home from lunch, you're lunch, you're dinner, you're the snacks in between the snacks, and then it's like, okay, so is there anything else to me other than that?
Mhm.
So it's like, okay, let me just back up. This is, and it didn't last long. Nice guy,
Well,
but it didn't last long.
you must have had the
Other
bone.
than that,
You must
shut
have.
up, hush,
I'm gonna finish. You must
hush.
have had the
No,
bone
no,
too
but
caught
just,
up in there.
and that can happen in other relationships too, whereas you might think the guy is into you and love you, whatever,
Mhm.
but it's just a sex thing to him. It's not okay, like, oh yeah, baby, we together. But only time we're together is at that point. So if the female is like,
Mhm.
okay, I like this guy, I'm thinking we're in a relationship more than just that. But when then it's like, hold up, that's the only time he called me. That's the only time he's around. We don't go out. We don't hang out at home.
But have you
You know,
communicated those
right,
things?
and that's what, yeah. That's go
Yeah.
back to the communication and stuff.
Cause
And
see, that starts earlier with the dating. That starts
Hmm.
early with the dating when you're trying to get in here. You're trying to get in the mind of a person. And I'm gonna be honest, I have spoken with some women and they say, I don't ever want you to have my mind. I've heard women say that before. I don't ever want to give you my mind because I feel like if I give you my mind, I give you all of me. But the thing is, I always
I give
tell
you your
people,
heart.
yeah, it's because it goes right to the
It's
heart.
yeah.
And the thing is, you don't have to give somebody your mind. My thing is, you got to play the game. You got to pick brain. You got to ask questions. You got to see what's going on. You can, like I told my friend this. I said, there's a way that you can still get to know somebody with
hmm
giving them tidbits of your life, and you see how they handle that.
exactly.
So you got to follow the principle what the Bible says. See, if you got to see if they can be a good steward over a few things. You see what I
Yes.
mean? And
Hmm.
see, and then make them ruler over many, which is ruler
Yeah.
over of your many emotions, your thoughts, your the things that you do. See, that's why I be throwing the scripture there, because see, it's certain things that you can do that we don't realize. You know what I mean? I ain't trying
Uh,
to preach to nobody. I'm just saying, man, look, it's a
preach, bro.
guideline, B. It's a simple guideline. If you change your thought process, you can change your way of thinking, and then you can navigate it a little bit easier. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but how do we get? How do you?
Mhm.
That I think sex and money are two of the biggest issues in relationships. Okay, uh,
Agree.
how do you get the clarity that
Mhm.
it ain't just about sex? I mean, if you laying in the bed,
Mhm.
if she's laying in the bed and you come in and you want to cuddle up and snuggle up and spoon or whatever, okay, um, and it leads to other stuff. Ladies, if you ain't saying nothing, I'm thinking it's cool. It's all right. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, Gina, Marcy. I mean,
Mhm.
say something.
Okay. That
And don't be angry. Don't think I'm going to be angry because you said,
Yeah, because you said no.
yeah. Don't think I'm going to be angry.
mm,
Just tell me.
I did voice my opinions to my husband. That was my husband. That was not something that we started out because I was pure when I got married. So, So it's not like we had, stuff happening before then.
She was pure.
But hush. Well, you in trouble. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm leaving right there. You in trouble. But you do.
It is.
I voiced the opinion, and it still is just sometimes it's like I don't know. I can't speak for other people. I can only speak for what I went through.
Yeah, but we definitely have to get to the understanding that communication is the key for that.
Yeah,
It is.
it is.
And sometimes and people talk about love language. I don't know what love language. Jeff, tell me what love language is.
Love language is it's kind of cool because I wasn't a believer of love language till I took the test, and the test is very it may be like about 30 questions or 40 questions. I believe it's the categories are affirmations, gifts, it's a few other ones too.
Hold on, I wrote them down. Let me see.
Okay, help me out, Marcy.
Affirmation, gifts, / cards, quality time, physical touch, and I forgot the fifth one because I think it was like 5. But those the affirmation, gifts, quality time, and physical touch.
Okay.
And what's so good about the love language test is that it's crazy because I tested all around. Like I wasn't just all in one area. I was kind of all around. I'm a well-rounded individual when it comes to that. But I don't need gifts though. I like gifts. You know what I mean? But
see, I'm like that too, bro.
Yeah. Gifts don't show to me that you really care because anybody can buy you acts of service.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Ty.
This Sullivan. Yep. Acts of service. That's what the last one is. I'm real big on that. I ain't gonna lie, I'm real big on acts of service because when you speak, the action is gonna show me. It's gonna show me. I used to put a lot of emphasis on that, but I've learned to kind of just back away. But I'm telling you, that love language is powerful. It's pretty accurate, and I really recommend it. Everybody take the test. It definitely
is.
Yeah, it's powerful.
It is.
Yeah. It definitely is. But you also have to know that the love language is also telling you what your mate likes. Like, for instance, if I tell you I like lilies and you bring me roses, you don't know my love language. If I tell you I like sex in a certain position and we never have it in that position, you don't know my love language. So it's also knowing what your partner's love language is too, and that will get deep when you start knowing them.
The beautiful Ty Sullivan says the gifts can be vital.
Yeah, depending on who the person is.
Everybody say what's up to Maurice Bishop C.
Hi, Maurice.
What's up?
Maurice, what's good, brother?
Hey, what's going on? I'm going ahead and mute my mic. I'm rolling.
Okay, cool. Appreciate you, brother. Everybody say what's up to Suzette.
All right now. Hey, Suzette.
I see you, girl.
Hello.
At the same time.
Or whoever she is.
You all, I have to keep you guessing. That's all.
She is simply Suzette.
Exactly.
But see, I've never until I got with you guys, I never heard of love language. Never.
Look it up. It's good. Read.
Yeah, it's good.
You guys just told me. I mean, I never heard of it. Bro.
That's kind of complicated to me. I'd heard of it, but I couldn't really understand it.
Take that 5 love language test, girl.
Take it
see
what?
if it's accurate. It's called the 5 love language test.
Yeah,
5 love language tests.
The 5 love language tests.
Is it possible to flunk? I don't want to do nothing. I don't want to be.
No, you ain't gonna flunk. You just
Okay.
if you be honest with the questions, to the best of your ability, it'll be accurate.
So, do you do this love language test with someone, or you do it alone?
You could do it with somebody, but it's an individual test. So it's best that you probably do it individually and then come together to discuss it.
Okay. Ty says the gifts could be something you really need, like hats, cooking, dinner,
I like that aspect.
etc. People will give their partner what their love language instead of what their partner's is. People will give their partner what their love language is instead of what their partner.
Yeah, because that's what they know.
But you know, with those love languages, I'm going to bring up the long distance relationships question on that. You can run back through these love languages with that because, like, okay, for can I change the subject, Greg? Is that okay?
You said what?
Can I change the subject? Go to that and bring it in with the love languages. Is that okay?
We can skip all over the place.
Okay. Sorry. Um, like say for instance, if you're in a long distance relationship, where like let's say the first love language, affirmation, um, that really helps with if you're long distance. It's not like you're always together, so just little things in your tone, your text, when you're calling, just things that you say to let the other person know that you care about them, even though you're far apart. And even for like little gifts, it doesn't have to be something really big and elaborate. It can be like a card, or just something, just something small. Spending time for long distance relationships. Okay. Um, Obviously, if you're long distance, you can't spend a lot of physical time all the time, but that's no different than someone living down the street from you, living in the house with you. Do you take quality time out? It's a matter of scheduling time, quality time to spend together. And again, say you can be working in the same, living in the same city, but one of you or both of you work a lot of hours. So you're still not getting time. So also, let me go to physical touch. I'm not going to touch that one.
Well,
But pardon me.
I said, why not? Bree Barnett says folks don't do that anymore. You got to touch on everything here on DopelivenTV. I mean, I understand that's not your comfortability level, but we gonna talk about it.
You gonna talk about it, Greg?
Oh, wait a minute. We see Maurice. What?
Dang, that's twice in a year. That's twice in a year.
Get out of here.
No more memes. Please. No more closed doors. but see, here's the thing. You mentioned something about the long distance relationship, and I guess all of this stuff can go in together. A nice view, brother. Nice view. Look at him. Hey man, keep your eyes on that road, bro.
Okay.
That's true.
But
you need to be safe, Maurice.
Here's a
now in the middle of nowhere. Nowhere.
What's that? In the middle of nowhere, he's there. Hey, this right here is something with me too. And we're gonna discuss this. Somebody asked me about that. Mississippi.
Oh, yeah, he out there.
Uh-oh.
Y'all breaking up a man.
Bring me back
to what'd you say?
Cotton stuff.
They got internet in Mississippi.
That's what I said. Bring me back to cotton stuff. Hey, look, then it says PDA, public displays of affection. Somebody asked me a question about that earlier today. And I don't know. I'm not really that public display of affection guy. All right. But let me ask this other question first. Then we can get on this. So, Marcy, you were talking about the long distance, okay? And you can call and say, this and say that, okay? But at some point, people will probably say, well, hey, you say it all the time. It's just words. It's just words. You say you love me, you say you care, you say it's just words. How can you?
Your actions got to back those words.
Okay, but if you're long distance, though,
that's when you schedule quality time. There, if you really want that relationship, you will schedule time to spend together. So then when you do have that time together, you need to make sure that it's quality time and not just, hey, we're going to be in the same city, in the same area together. And hey, how you doing? Oh, I'm good. How you being good? Whatever. Actually schedule something. And then that time is just for the two of you. Turn off those phones, shut down those computers if possible. And and it's just, I don't know. No, Suzette.
Turn off the phone.
Got to turn off the phone.
Well, if that's what you're gonna have to do, I mean, when I say turn off the phone, focus on the two of you when you're together. Maybe if you don't turn off the phone, but still let the focus be you and him, or him and her, or however it's gonna be, and let that be the focus. But if you're trying to schedule some time because you're long distance, and then when you get together, one or two of you are on the phone all the time, you might as well stay where you are.
Yeah, that's true.
Period.
Facts, Marcy.
That's a lot. Look, then it says she learned PDA, public displays of affection, shocked the mess out of her husband when she showed it.
What you do, girl?
Oh, I'm looking. I got my glasses on.
I'm anxious to see what
Yeah,
she.
I want to know what she did too.
Yeah, but
Look that up.
let's just hold the show until she gives us the answer.
Yeah.
Man, I just came to. Oh, he gave us an answer too. She said yes. Phone off. Let them know they are your focus. Sometimes that's, you know, again, communication, and I think the key for the catchphrase today is going to be communication, because
Yeah.
she said a quick kiss is her public display. All right,
That's not a big deal.
No.
it's mercy.
To some.
It probably just it took him off guard. He was like, "Oh snap! I wasn't expecting you to kiss me out here,
Right,
in these streets."
out in these streets here. but I don't know, because that would kind of creep me out a little bit.
Greg, do you mean to tell me that if your significant other, you were at the grocery store, you were at the Walmart, and she all of a sudden y'all was looking at the socks or looking at the cold water, and all of a sudden she turned around and kissed you, that wouldn't do nothing for you?
I'd be like, girl, people looking. What's wrong with you?
Well, see, that's the thing.
What the crap you
We
think?
don't care what people think. Oh, we're trying to say we don't care I don't care what people think. You don't care what people think. But let me tell you, when she does that, your mind should be absolutely blank, as if nobody was around. Your reaction should have been just like it would have been if nobody else was around. Because people don't make no difference. They're not in your relationship.
Right.
I'm just saying, that's just me.
And,
important is that.
And again, I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Well,
y'all.
I'm just saying.
Don't look at it like it's for real, Greg.
You said you, but I'm just saying. I mean to. Disclaimer. I'm not talking about you directly, but people like what you just said.
There are people like that.
I know.
So I mean, I just wanted to put it out there, but
see, that would make you not want to kiss him again. I mean, that would not make him want to kiss you again. At home, when you really want to home, you'd be like, he ain't do nothing at the store, so forget him. Shit, people do that. People get turned off like that.
But they look at it as rejection.
That's petty.
And it is petty. It's that level of intimacy that you build with that person, though, too. You know what I mean? I feel that there should be a level of intimacy that y'all have for each other, and that level of intimacy turns into comfortability when you get out in front of people. With me and my ex-wife, before it got all crazy and whatnot towards the end, people always used to compliment us for how we moved. And it's funny because you don't notice that. You don't notice it because that's just your natural reaction, how you out with somebody. But see, that's how it is. When people actually see how you move with your mate, they see how you navigate around each other, how you do little things for each other. That's how people get compliments. They be like, oh man, y'all move so well together. Y'all, the way y'all talk, y'all communicate, the way y'all do such and such. It's because that level of intimacy and comfortability has been built between the two of y'all.
Shoe that day I told you, buckle his shoe.
Say what?
That way he buckled that shoe right there.
There you go. Yeah. Mm-hmm. When you put that foot up there, he was like, bah.
That pointed toe, 3.5-inch nails heel. That's right.
Y'all funny. Y'all funny.
Don't mind me.
Y'all funny. That's what's up, though. So I mean, I ask about long distance relationships and Jeff said something about yesterday. I think yesterday, day before yesterday. Okay, some people can't understand being in a business that's a very demanding business. Okay, you got to get in where you fit in. Okay, it's not going to always be like you want to. Angie Still Standing says she loves touch. Yeah, it's cool, but you got to get in when you fit in when that comes up, all right? Because and I'm just saying this, and again, it's not Greg, all right?
Of course not.
I got to put that disclaimer out there. When you're out there in the business, and I'm speaking of my business, it's unconventional. I'll put it like that. So when everybody else is in that turn off the lights moment, for me, I gotta be up getting ready to call somebody in California because they're just in that role right now. They're 4 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours away. So they're at a different time. I gotta be able to be ready for them at the time that I am. Okay, so when you want to turn off the lights and do all that, I got to get on this business call. I got to get on the Skype call. You know, how do you navigate that?
As I said the other day,
Yeah.
nobody would say anything if
I
you
didn't hear
were.
you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay, but go ahead, Suzette.
Nobody
ahead.
would say anything if you were a doctor. They wouldn't open their mouth. They would be like, okay, you know, nobody would open their mouth. It's all about the respect for your profession.
Correct.
You have to be respectful of what it is that people do. Also, you have to be understanding of what people do. Also, hey, Nay.
Hey, baby girl.
Hey.
Hey,
But you have to be respectful of the profession, and you have to be, you just have to be ready. You have to stay ready.
but she has to be respecting, or vice versa.
Yeah.
She has to be
Definitely.
Well, you both would,
Definitely.
right? But you both would.
Yes.
Like I said,
Yes.
if you were a doctor, it wouldn't be no issue you jumping up at 3 o'clock in the morning and making a phone call, or 3 o'clock in the morning and leaving.
But you're
not coming
saying
back
that.
until 12 o'clock.
You're saying that. You're saying that, but let's keep it 100, okay? After a while, it's going to start getting on your nerves. Let's keep it. Let's be honest with you. Even when you're busy, you still have to make time. You make time for what you want to.
Yeah,
that's the key. You make time for what you want. It's for what, if you want to be with that person, you're going to shift it. There ain't no amount of time that you ain't willing to shift to make it work. Yes. That's very key. You make time for what you want, and that's true, because I'm telling you, if you really want to see your relationship work, if you really want to be with somebody, you're going to try. You're going to try. You just not. Some people do give up, but that's based on what they normally just see in front of them. You know what I mean? And they just be like, all right. And it's normally repeat offenders. If it repeats, that's when people normally do give up. Some people you do have to build up with those affirmations to let them know that, hey, we got this thing. You know what I mean? Some people need to hear that as well. So they don't just retreat as soon as they see a sign of weakness in a relationship. You know what I mean?
Relationships take work, and a lot of people don't realize that. They you see dumb stuff on the television, on the videos, and it's gonna be just hunky-dory. And then when you really get into the relationship, and to you, Greg, regarding your business.
Oh, don't put me in it. I just said something.
I mean, okay, you just said something. Okay, by someone you don't, because there are different businesses, out there where it's almost like a 24/7, 24/7, whatever day job. And if you're in a relationship and you're saying like in the middle of the night, so that means that's I don't know if it's committed or it should be a established relationship, I'll say. So that person already knows about your business, and they know this is what you do. So for someone to have issues, well, just me saying that would be a problem for me if that was my job and I had to get up in the middle of the night or something, because I have family members that deal with people all over the world. And so we don't know, it's like, okay, I'll just send a text out, because I'm not sure if you're working right now. I might be up at 3, and I'm like, okay, let me just shoot a text out or whatever, but they're working. And, but in a relationship, you just got to be able to deal with that.
And I agree with that. Okay. But that's when it gets to the point of what we spoke about earlier. You out there doing this, you out there doing that. Okay. But if you're not, how do you convince this person that you're cool, you at home, you're good. I mean, we're good, but understand that this is pressing. Like let's take for instance, and Jeff, I don't know if you can feel me on this, Nyla, Suzette, Marcy. Last year before last, whatever, COVID. All right. It took a lot out of businesses. All right. We had the opportunity the later part of the year and this year to re-energize our businesses, get it back. Okay. But it took a lot of work and it took a lot of time. But the person that you were with when it started, that person is not understanding. They want to do some things. They want to go out and do different things and this and that, and you just can't do it right now because you don't punch a clock. If you don't work, you ain't eating. All right. So you got to get some kind of understanding there as well. I understand that the person didn't sign up for that. All right, but we didn't sign up for the COVID either. All right, and the COVID came. So we had to weather the storm. Now, will that person weather the storm with you when it's all done? That's where communication. And I think, like I said, communication is a key word today. Jeff, I need you to talk about that for a second.
Hold on. Now I got something real quick. I saw Nye with a hand up.
Oh, I didn't see Nye with her hand up. Go ahead, Nye. She's so quiet. She's so quiet. Oh, I can't even do the heart. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, because I came in the middle of it. Greg, you kind of said it. One, it has to do with your communication with your partner, but it's not necessarily about them respecting your profession. Like, yes, they respect your profession. It's more so about you not making them feel neglected. So, like, yes,
Good.
as a doctor, you're gonna get up at 3 o'clock in the morning or whatever the case may be. You're on call, whatever. And as a business owner, or someone who trades, like, in the foreign exchange market, the market's open at like 2 a.m.
Right.
Got to get up with the markets. As a business owner, you got to get on those calls. You might be doing international business, and Japan is 12, 14 hours ahead
Exactly.
of here. It's so, one, like I don't remember if it was Marcy or Suzette or Jeff. One of them said it has to, you have that communication. You're in a committed relationship. If we're talking about committed relationships, that person should understand the type of work that you do in some context. But you also have to, I think, getting to that committed relationship, you're also assessing, because when you're talking to people before you get into a committed relationship, understanding, it's like an interview. Like, you're going through the interview process of a candidate to see if they're the right fit, right? Like, both of you're both interviewing. I just say the same thing with jobs. Like, the job is interviewing you, but you're interviewing the job too. So it's the same thing when you're deciding on if you want to be in a relationship with someone committed. You're kind of interviewing. So when you guys are telling each other things about each other, like, those conversations should come up. Like, this is the type of work I do. Is that something that you would be comfortable with, or whatever the case may be? And then when you get into that, I get what you're saying about COVID happening and everything like that, and businesses restarting, and the grind and the hustle is a lot different. Some people got into relationships in COVID,
Right.
and so now that their relationships, their businesses, like the type of work that you do, Greg, where you don't put your 9 to 5 clock, or the type of work that Jeff does, or what I do, where it's not punching a clock, so to speak. That person, you just have to have a conversation. Like, look, this is the grind, and they should be able to understand that. But you also have to make sure they're not feeling neglected, and that doesn't mean
that's it.
That doesn't necessarily mean that you with them all the time. That might giving them a heads up in between business meetings. That might, like, if you gotta wake up at 3 a.m., they might be asleep, just like giving them a quick nice text. It's just making sure they're not feeling neglected all the time. It doesn't necessarily mean, because you're gonna be busy and they're gonna understand that. Like, you can't give your time. You can't always give your time. But you just need to make sure that they feel like they still matter and still have like a part in your life. Like, oh, he
I
thought
got a couple of problems with some of that you said, okay? But Jeff, I'm gonna let you talk. Well, let me read these real first. Looked in, it says, if you understand entrepreneurs, you function different. If you call and they're working, the next word should be bye. Talk to you later. Angie says that's understandable, but you still need to schedule some quality time for the person you're interested in. And she gave you some props, Nyla. But go ahead, Jeff. Then I want to bust some holes and all that.
I like what Nas said about the reassurance, and that's what I've learned from my past and learning from my mistakes. That's what I learned to do: give reassurance. You know what I mean? Because I used to move, man, and it would be a lot of stuff that I would say last minute. Like, for instance, today, what I did was I scheduled I got a meeting for tomorrow with one of my guys I went to school with. Found out he does some real dope stuff, community stuff, everything like that. I want to bring him on my team. We talked about some very key pivotal stuff to move around in the city of Gary and everything like that, and it'll really be beneficial. You know what I did today? I knew how my baby was feeling. She wasn't feeling too good. When I got on the phone, I talked to her. I said, you know what? I gotta let you know I got a business meeting for tomorrow. I scheduled it for 4. You know what I mean? So it's something I could do right when I get done my other job. You know, so I can go right there, go to the office, set it up, boom, bada bam, be there for an hour, and then I got the rest of my day. You know what I mean? So I give a reassurance. I still try to, and like we said before earlier, make the time. You know, with reassurance, letting them know, be like, hey, look, babe, I got this. Or I might ask how you feel about it. You know what I mean? Is that something you want to do at that time? Because guess what? Since we don't have to punch the clock, sometimes we can have a little more open availability. So if I know sometimes stuff can just be staggered, and maybe some days it might not work that way. But at least we got to try to see if we have some wiggle room for our partner too. Because like I said, feeling neglected can come into play with that. It's a whole bundle of things that can go in there. As entrepreneurs, we try to do the best we can. You know what I mean? Try to do the best we can with what we got. We're not going to be perfect with it, but we do need grace from our significant other if they're not an entrepreneur as well.
One more thing, too. It's nice to be able to plan things together, and we can plan our lives together. Like you just said, sometimes, you ask, well, what do you think? And I always ask that when I, talk about what it is that I want to do, and I ask myself, well, what do you think about that? What's up with you? And we make those decisions together, and as much as possible, we do stick. Another thing too, a lot of times with Marcy was talking about the long distance relationships. If you can't make it, you have to substitute. You have to substitute a text message, a flower, a nice letter, a real quick phone call. A lot of ways that you can connect so that the person knows that you are thinking of them. That's the deal.
Right.
You need to know that I need to know that I'm on your mind at some time and some points within the rest of the day. And that's what it's all about. I need to know how often are you really thinking of me? How do I know that if you're not calling, if you're not, if I don't never hear from you for 15 hours? I mean, I know that everybody has the ability now to give a short way to let somebody know how they feel about them and how they're thinking of.
Greg, before you put a hole in it, I just want to say this also occurs when you're in the same household as the person.
Right.
Like, it's not just people who are not living together or who are like, like distance or like live in 2 separate areas. This also happens when you live with someone. I used to work for Hertz. I don't even know if they're in business or they went bankrupt. But
what's all the black spots on here today? Go ahead.
I used to work for them, and I used to work 70 hours a week. I worked an hour away, and I was the branch manager, but I had another like location that was like even further, and I would work 70 hours a week. Plus, I was a full-time student, and like Sage would just be at home, and I worked 6 days a week. On Saturdays, I worked, but I worked like a half day. I would get like we closed at like 1, so I would get home around like 2 or 3. But I'll have homework on Sundays. But I still had to make time like for like what is important to me. Like, I worked and I had other things to do, and even like when I like now, like we're in the same house, but I'm busy all the time, but I work from home. I'm here, but I still have to try to make time for what's important to me, because like,
is that quality time right now?
Right now it's not quality time because I'm doing something. But she's doing something else. She's not here, she's downstairs. But somebody can feel neglected and still be in your presence also. So it's not just,
let me see.
Go ahead.
So
my 2 cents.
Communication. I'm gonna start it off with that. All right.
Yeah, it's important.
And Look Dinner said something that's part of the comment that I want to make, and that's listening and understanding. All right. And it also leads to one of the questions that I had in the promo. Should you tell your spouse what you think they want to hear just to get something from them, okay? And I'll take the just to get something from them off. Should you tell them what you want to hear to shut them up, okay? You know, if you're not listening to me, I can tell you're not listening to me, okay? Because here's the thing. You said what you said. Get it out. And now it's my turn to talk. I'm saying what I'm saying, and then you listened, but you went right back to what you were saying, okay? You didn't comprehend, you didn't even take into consideration anything.
They heard you. They didn't listen to you. They
Exactly.
heard you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, exactly. They heard me, but they didn't listen to me. That is the most annoying thing you can do to me. Okay, you go right back to what you're talking about, and I have a opinion as well. Okay, but you're neglecting my opinion. You're actually disregarding my opinion. Okay, you'd be like, okay, no, you're wrong. Okay, because this you're going right back to. I hate that shit. Okay, I hate it. I hate it. Man, look, it's my show. I hate that shit. All right, so it's our show. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said mine. You all forgive me. All right. But I'm just saying that's the most annoying thing to me. And that when I cannot communicate with you on that level, and I know Jeff will let you say something. When I cannot communicate on that level, I'm done. I can't talk to you. There's nothing I can say. So thus my communication, long distance or close, is going to be minimal now. All right. I don't want to call because now you're not going to
You're not listening to me.
yeah, you're not listening to me.
Right,
What am I calling you for?
You not acknowledge how I feel. I feel I'm the same way. I feel like that's well for me specifically. I can't speak for anybody else, but like I'll shut down. Like
Yeah.
if I feel like you're not hearing, if you're hearing me, because hearing is involuntary. Hearing is literally involuntary. It's the definition is the vibrations that go through your ear canal that create sound. Listening is you comprehending, you understanding, you being empathetic, and us having a discussion about it. And if I feel like that, if I'm not being listened to, or if I feel like my point is not getting across, then I will literally shut down.
Done. I don't want to say
Like
nothing.
I don't want to talk to you no more. Like I nope, I don't want to have that
And see,
conversation.
Nyla, that's when the name's calling. So, well, what you just said, that was stupid. That was ignorant. Okay, I don't have to live like you live. We can look. Difference of opinions
Yeah.
are great. Okay, that's beautiful. Okay, I don't have to think like you think. And what's stupid to you is very important to me. And when you say it's stupid to me, I'm really gone. Okay,
Stupid is
I don't need to talk to you. I'll talk to you tomorrow, something like that. Okay. Real quick, Suzette, real quick. Angie says, keyword, what's important to you? Look Thinner says, most of the time people are not listening to the person they are thinking about defending themselves. Yeah.
They get really defensive about
Stop all of that. Communicate. Go ahead. Well, Jeff wanted to say something first.
Yeah, go ahead, Jeff.
And and with it, y'all make some very good points. You know what I mean? And shutting down is that defense mechanism because, like both of y'all said, we don't want to be heard. We feel as if we don't want to be heard. Now, I ain't gonna lie. I ain't the one to shut down. I ain't gonna lie.
You want to go in?
I'm the one. I'm gonna be like, well, look here, and I'm guilty. I may repeat my point 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times.
I do it too.
Because I like to make sure. You see, I ask questions.
Mm-hmm.
I even like it. I even ask, not in a condescending way but I need to make sure that you actually heard me. So I might ask you, well, okay, if you heard me, what did I say? Repeat it back to me. So that way I just know you have a good understanding of it. Because then once again, that opens up the door so that we can rectify anything that may be misunderstood.
Okay, but Joe, let me interject real quick.
Yeah.
Okay, but just because they repeat it, again, that goes to the just saying what you want me to say.
And that's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
That's not necessarily comprehending.
And that's true because then
I said they didn't listen.
Yeah,
or taking
that's true.
Consideration, they just repeating it back to you.
Exactly. So once they repeat, now that's up to me because if you tell me yes, now I'm looking at your actions. See, now I got to take the time to step back and say, okay, you repeated it. So now we're going to put it to the test to see if you will really listen to what I was saying.
There you go.
You're going to take the time to look at you.
But you know what? Something that I do in that case, just asking them to repeat it does not necessarily mean that they understand the meaning of what you're saying.
That's
And
what
what
I'm
I've done
And
in
that's true.
the past is ask, can you explain to me what you think I'm trying to communicate to you?
I think
And
that's what I'm trying to say. Not really repeat word for word what I'm saying.
okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm really trying to say.
Well, with me, I always do believe that when there's a serious breakdown in communication, when there's a serious issue where everything's getting heated, when it's a real knockdown, drag out, one of those kind of discussions. I don't like to argue, so I'm too old for that. I always say, I always know that it's never, if you know it's not you, two ways. If you know it's not you, then I would tell him. I say, listen, here's what we'll do. Well, I'm gonna get off this phone. You call me back when your head is cool and you've had a chance to think about what we're doing, because clearly this is not about me.
Yeah, to me, that's dismissive.
No, that's not. It cannot be dismissive.
To me.
No, it's not dismissive. I'm giving you the chance because see, if he's hollering, I don't holler in arguments and stuff because I just don't do that. But in a nice voice and not nothing mean or nothing. I just tell, listen. I said clearly there's something going on. I said it's not. I can't think of anything I've done, and you can't tell me what I've done.
So Suzette, let me stop you right there. I'm gonna let you get back, okay? But you can't tell me what I do. Okay, see now it's dismissive because what you're saying is you're right. Okay, what you said was right, and he's mad, and you're not seeing anything that you did was wrong. Okay, so that's going to make the other person a little bit more angrier. Okay, to me.
Because you want to know what it really boils down to?
What?
It boils down to actually listen to what someone says about you, and then you shutting up, being quiet, and saying, well, damn, did I really do what they just said that I did?
Yep.
Exactly right.
Because when somebody tells you, we hate to hear inconsistencies about ourselves. And when someone gives us an inconsistency that we think isn't right, we always want to put up the wall instead of saying, well, dang, maybe I did act like that this one time.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of looking at yourself, you want to say what you didn't do. But that's the time when you really need to shut up, be quiet, and pull back the layers that you didn't even know you had.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And be like, oh, snap, I was out of pocket.
Now,
maybe that might have been me.
Yeah. Now, maybe like I tell you, if it's me, I want to know what I did to make you feel like that. You need to tell me.
It is.
And
Yeah.
I'm old enough, big girl enough to know that, and then you get, I am so sorry. That is not that was not my intention.
There it is.
Yep. That's me as well. Yeah.
Not my intention. But when you hollering and you mad and he can go from zero. If you give him 24 hours, because when you keep, if I gave him kept, back and forth, ain't nobody hearing nobody.
Mm-hmm.
You're not hearing anything.
Mm-hmm.
You're not hearing anything. And I want you to understand what I said. So if you're angry and you don't care to hear it right then I need to give you a chance to cool down and get thoughts together. And then once you're good, you can call me back. I'm gonna be mad at you when you call me back. Because
see, it's still there. It's still there. Come on now. I'm just saying it from my viewpoint. Okay, Angie says sometimes people need to take time to think about things and revisit at a calmer time.
Right.
But hold
But
on. Didn't the Bible say that you're not supposed to go to bed angry?
Bible says, don't let the sun fall. The sun the sun fall on your wrath.
I'm not
fall on your anger.
I'm not gonna say
you're saying you're not angry, Suzette, okay, and that's understandable, okay, but that person still has a point that he wants to get across, okay, and you're dismissing him.
So I want to touch on that. I want to touch on that what Greg said, because I've had to have this conversation. Well, not talking at, but Sage and I have had to have this conversation because we operate very differently. Like at the beginning of our relationship, because she's a very sweet and nice person. And if she feels some type of way, she will walk away to cool herself down, and she'll revisit later. I'm the type of person, I need to say what I need to say So to get it off my chest and to make sure that you understand and hearing me. And if you walk away, I feel like you're dismissing me, like
Just
Greg
thank
said.
you.
But she explained
But
to me that when she walks away, or it's not to dismiss what I'm saying. If we're having an argument or an altercation,
Mhm.
part of it is to make sure she doesn't say anything that she
Right.
will regret
Yeah.
saying.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of people say things out of anger, out of frustration, like what you're saying is stupid, and I'm guilty of that. Like that doesn't make any sense. That's stupid. Like you have to take a time to breathe so that you can actually hear what the other person is saying and not be quick to respond. Because a lot of times when you're in an
Mhm.
argument, when people start yelling at this, I know that I'm guilty of that, and I have to like constantly work on that. Once we start yelling or whatever the case may be, like it doesn't matter who it is. Like now I'm thinking about my response. I'm not thinking about nothing that you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
leaving and coming back to the situation, I don't think that you should take advantage of it, because I also had to explain like, okay, yeah, it's cool for you to take a few minutes or whatever, but
Mm-hmm.
like not taking advantage and putting it on your time, because now you come back and you calm and I'm still mad
Yeah.
because I have to sit and I have to wait until you're ready to talk.
what's up,
And
Zaya Browder? I'm sorry, just popping in to say what's up, Zaya Browder, family member as well. What's going on, brother? Doing some big things out there. We're gonna holler. Go ahead, man.
but you have to have that conversation. I don't think that you should tell the other person what they want to hear, because that builds your
Yeah.
relationship on false pretenses.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that makes it seem like everything's okay, and then the person is over here telling you it's okay, it's okay, it's okay, and next thing you know, they have a breakdown or they blow up on you and you have no idea what the hell went wrong because you thinking it's okay, it's okay, it's okay.
But you know what? Also, you have to think about this too. You have to think about two things. Well, I do. I think about the level of respect that I have for him, for our relationship.
Absolutely.
I think about that.
Mhm.
I think that I want him to be as happy as I am, always.
I will.
Two, and number two, I want to be able. Um, it's all about responsibility. Listen, that it's all about responsibility. Oh, where did he come from?
You killing them, Lizette. You killing them.
She hit that phone so hard. She said,
But like I said, and maturity also is a great factor, because if you're not old enough to know how to dissect stuff like that, you know, you got to know who it is that you with.
Okay, but Suzette, you cannot throw out the you act so immature, because
No,
no, I'm not saying you. I'm just saying period, okay? Because when you throw that out, that shows a lack of maturity on your part as well, okay? Period. When you got a name call and point out everything you want, all that's childish to me. I don't want to do that.
then y'all both childish. Like at
Yeah,
the
exactly. You're right.
Yeah.
childish.
You're
Like
right.
yeah,
Yeah.
it is. I know
you
because
know, like I
I've done
said,
it.
it's just the anger, and I think that a lot when you're angry like that, you can't control whatever it is that you're angry about, and you don't know how to communicate.
Lashing out. That's ridiculous.
And you
Name
know where a
call.
lot of anger comes from? A lot of anger starts in it starts off in arguments because somebody says something to you and all you did was view it in a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
When really that person, they weren't trying to say it that way to you.
Exactly.
That might have been not what they meant, but that's what I've noticed. That's how a lot of anger starts in arguments, because somebody said something and
And
you
come up
chose
right.
to manifest it in your mind what you
Yeah.
thought they was trying to say, instead of
Ooh.
taking advantage of the time and say, what
What
do
is
you
she?
mean?
Right.
Yeah. And,
Or
and some people can never do that.
What you gonna say now?
it can,
There's more than one or two different ways to see a thing, you know. So but we have to talk so you know exactly which way I'm saying it about, you know, what where my view is, and I got to be able to know what your view is too, so that way we can figure out what's going on and how to fix this.
the other part of
More
it
than
is
Well,
way.
before you do that, Nyla, I want to shout out my man Jay Cadet. All right, he is we have a life coach who deals with everything in life. He's a relationship coach. He got 5 common types of disrespect in a relationship, and I want to play that for y'all right now. We're gonna come back to you, Nyla. Okay, it's DopelivenTV Live. You guys check this out.
Hey guys, Jay Cadet here, and welcome back to CO3 Studio TV. Lately, I've been noticing a lot of couples are way too comfortable disrespecting each other. You'd think it's something most couples would do their best to avoid, but I've been noticing it happening all the time, not only in public, but among the couples I work with as well. Discomfort with being disrespectful to your partner is often a sign that you're taking each other's commitment for granted. And when that happens, politeness goes out the door, and you're more likely to be reckless with how you treat each other because you assume your partner will stick around anyway. It seems most people don't do it with the intent of hurting their partner. They're just self-centered and only concerned about their own feelings in the moment. Let me give you a few examples of what I see happening. 1. Making condescending remarks about your partner's thoughts or feelings. When your partner does or says something that doesn't make any sense to you, do you ask more questions to find out how they arrived at that conclusion? Or do you just let them know how dumb or misguided you think it is? When you always think you're right, every opinion your partner has as different from yours sounds ridiculous. To you, it has no ground because it's not supported by your personal experience. However, it's based on your partner's personal experience, which is just as valid and important as yours. Once you can learn to respect that, you'll find that your differences don't have to be points of contention, but opportunities to learn and understand a perspective other than your own. 2. Dismissive body language and tone of voice. What we communicate to each other isn't only composed of words. Our body language and tone of voice also contributes to the message you send to your partner. So when they're speaking and you respond with an eye roll, sucking your teeth, a condescending or sarcastic tone of voice, it communicates disrespect even if the words you're using don't. To them, it says they're incompetent or what they're saying doesn't have any merit. It leaves them feeling insulted and looked down upon. It's important to be intentionally conscious about how your body language and tone of voice play a role in the message you're sending your partner. It might take some practice, but the extra effort is worth protecting your relationship from the damage of disrespect. 3. Threatening to leave or give up on the relationship. Your partner needs to know they can count on you to get through troubling times when they come up. Each time you toss around the idea of leaving and don't, you chip away their trust in your commitment more and more. How can you expect them to be fully committed to you when you're showing them you'd rather leave than find a way to make it work when things get tough? The best way to handle not knowing how to fix whatever problem you're dealing with in your relationship is to just be honest with your partner about it. Let them know you feel discouraged or frustrated. Instead of using the situation as an opportunity to throw in the towel, use it as an opportunity to connect and work through the problem together. 4 is name calling. Names meant to hurt your partner have no place in your relationship at all, for any reason. Doing so is child's play and does nothing but make whatever problem you're dealing with already worse. Learn to direct your frustrations towards the problem you're dealing with and not towards each other. 5 is mocking or insulting your partner, especially in public. There's a big difference between joking and laughing together about something your partner did versus joking and laughing about what they did at their expense. Some people have a harsher sense of humor than others, and that's fine if your partner gets it. But once the joke becomes hurtful to them, it's no longer funny. Adding an LOL or actually laughing out loud doesn't remove the sting of harsh words, especially spoken by someone you love. At the end of the day, having respect in your relationship simply means that you treat each other with courtesy and place an equal importance on both of your thoughts and feelings. The fact is, your partner's opinions matter just as much as yours and deserve to be treated as such, no matter how off they may sound to you in the moment. Now, something that might be deemed disrespectful happening once in a blue moon isn't the end of the world. You can just talk about why it was wrong and discuss ways to make sure it doesn't happen again. However, if it's something that you actually get comfortable doing, especially on purpose, there are some deeper and more serious issues in your relationship that really need to be resolved, preferably with professional help. So guys, what are your thoughts? Do you find disrespect popping up in your relationship more than it should? How do you handle it? Leave a comment and let me know. Also, if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and subscribe to this channel.
Yeah. We ain't giving you all that, bro. But
He was good. What
He was.
Yeah, I like that.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
I didn't say anything.
Oh, I said, what was
His name is Jay Cadet, Jaycadet, Jay Cadet. He has a number of those things, those little tidbits on YouTube, which I was going to talk to Jeff about because Jeff got to do the same thing.
And you know what? It's Jacob. He really. Those are some very good points. The name calling, the condescending remarks, different things like that. You know, I'm okay. I keep it real. Transparent moment. Boom, bada, bam. I was told by the lovely lady that I love that at times that how I talk, it sounds like I'm talking condescending or talking down. Now, the people who know me, they know I don't talk down to anyone. You know what I mean? But I guess it's how direct I can be in conversation sometimes. Like, and I try to do the best I can to generalize it. Like, you know, I don't like to say you or this. I don't like to say that because now I'm getting too personal. You know what I mean? Unless I am being personal with somebody. So I do the best I can to generalize it amongst people. But sometimes when you're talking to your significant other, you might come out. You just might come out. That word just may come out. And it has to be expressed. Now, like I always said, I've always been honest about who I am. You know what I mean? I know that I can come off a little brash or a little brunt at times, but when it's understood and I'm saying, all right, this is how I communicate, this is how I talk or whatever. Now I'm like, okay, I'm not saying it ain't going to come off that way sometimes, you know, but people, and it's funny because when you be honest with people, sometimes people do that to you back. You know, people will do that to you back. And that's why I always say it's good to know who you are. Because when you know who you are, you know what you can bring to the table in terms of something might sound a certain way. You do the best you can to explain that to your partner. Now, if you just keep doing it, you know what I mean? After somebody tells you how they feel, yeah, you do have a problem because that's showing that you just really don't care.
Don't care.
You know what I mean? All those 5 things that he talked about, if your partner is telling you that, hey, this is how I feel that you're doing, and once again, like I said earlier, taking notice of those inconsistencies, and just because you disagree with it and you think that, oh, you never could do this or you never could do don't say that, because maybe it's stuff that you've done over the years that nobody has never said to you. But now, since this person loves you and care about you, and now you're the closest to them, they see it. And since they love you and care about you, they want to just address it to the forefront. Not to be rude, but to talk about it. What up, now?
You also, at the same time, though, once you tell that person, you might have to remind them a few times when they do it. Because, like you said, they might never have been told. So change does not happen overnight. Nope. Flowers don't grow overnight. Grass doesn't grow overnight. So you can't expect that person to change overnight and then get mad at them when they don't. You might have to tell them, like, there's some things that Sage doesn't like. And I had to tell her, I was like, okay, when I do it, let me know. Because if you don't let me know, I'm not thinking about it. Because I've never thought about it. So you have to sometimes you have to tell people, okay, you're doing it. So that they're aware of the fact that they're doing it, and it'll become muscle memory after a while.
Some people, when you tell it though, they say, "No, that ain't me." Okay, and then they say, "I've even had someone tell me, follow this." I've had somebody to tell me, "Well, nobody's ever told me this, so can't be me." All right, and nobody's ever, all my friends, nobody's ever done that. Okay, but I'm telling you this. You ain't in a relationship with them. I'm telling you what soothes my soul. Okay, do I have to play that video again? What soothes my soul? Okay, and if you want your soul soothed all the time. Okay, and yes, when you start off in something, you got to keep doing that in order to keep the person. Keep what you started. You keep doing what you started with in order in the relationship. Okay, but when you are not feeling soothed, when you're not feeling respected, when you're not feeling like your point of view matters, it ends. From as far as I'm concerned, it ends. Okay, I'm just there. Because you don't respect what I'm saying, you don't listen to what I'm saying, you're not trying to hear or learn me, and you're accusing me of not learning you. Okay, but hey, vice versa, it works both ways. So every time you get in a conversation, you talk about how you feeling, what you feel. I'm not doing okay to make you feel good, but what about what you're not doing to make me feel good?
That's because some people only focus on their own needs and not the other person. And when you try to, my philosophy is try to outlove each other. And with both of you showing love, I just think that helps the relationship. You're looking at your needs and you're looking at their needs, and so you wake up, Greg.
No, I'm good. Oh. I was looking at the thing when Jeff popped off. He'll be back.
Okay. But yeah, that's when you're only focusing on your own needs, and that's very selfish. Very selfish.
And you know what, Greg, you said something that was true too. You have to You have to know who you're with. You know,
Yes.
and
Mm-hmm.
knowing who you are with has to do with everything. It has to do with what they've been through before they met you. They bring in bags, they bring groceries, they bring in all
Mhm.
kinds of stuff. So when you can pull all those layers of things back and you really get the person that you're looking for, you have to give them, as Nyla said, you have to keep reminding them. Because the person that you was with before ain't not like the person you with now.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a big adjustment depending on where anybody's coming from. My fiance had his wife passed away. His situation is different than mine. I was divorced. So we quite frankly do see things in two different ways.
Mm-hmm.
He would have not ever looked at me had he still been married. He's that kind of devoted. But then, I had to understand too, it's a lot going on with him. He's got a daughter, a lot going on. But then I tell him, I said, you have to stop thinking about all that other stuff, all that other garbage that's in that people can get into, and just start thinking about us. When you just start thinking about us, it's easier. It's
Sure.
complicated when you have a whole lot of other junk. You're worried about the daughter and the grandkids and the work and the car and the different. Don't forget about all that. Your work should just start with me and you, and everything else will be okay.
And
Sure.
to like Marcella's point, like instead of focusing on, a lot of people focus on like what makes them happy and how they feel, and
Mhm.
only how they feel and what makes them happy. But and then they bring it to the other person. But if you try to make the other person happy, or like do things to, like, when you're thinking about things for your relationship, thinking about what makes them happy, and y'all both do that,
Mhm.
inevitably you guys will take care of each other without trying, because
Yes.
you're thinking about how you can make them happy and how they
Mm-hmm.
feel constantly, and they're doing the same thing. And when you do that, you both make each other happy, and you don't have as many like problems,
Mm-hmm.
because you're
Yeah.
not worried about, they're not understanding how I feel, because you're worried about taking care of them. And also you have to think about, Jeff was saying like people don't like to hear their about themselves, basically. And that is true. But there are also some things that people are triggered by. And that's where you understanding your partner and knowing who you're with comes into play. Because there are certain things that trigger people. It doesn't have to be past relationships. It could be a relationship with their parent. Somebody like me. I personally
Mhm.
don't like the B word. I don't like the B word for a reason. My partner knows why I don't like. I mean, any of my friends know why I don't like that. Like the females nowadays, like they like to throw that around and call each other
Yeah.
that, they use
I
that.
hate
I'm
that.
not that type of person, and I have a reason for. I have a valid reason, and everybody who knows me, who's close to me, knows that why I don't like it,
Mhm.
why I don't use it. I don't want to be called. I don't care if you're playing. I don't care whatever.
Mhm.
If you're not calling me, I just, that's just not me. So when I hear it, it don't matter who say it. It makes me uncomfortable. And so you have to know those types of things that are triggering. Also hurt people. My grandma always says this: hurt people hurt
Perfect.
people. So
Perfect.
when you're
Yes.
arguing,
True.
Yes.
Say that all the time.
you're arguing, you're trying to hurt the other person because you're hurt, and then they start trying to say things to hurt you because they're hurt, and then now y'all calling each other names and doing stuff that you normally wouldn't do it. So that's just my 2 cents. You gotta understand all of
Yeah.
those aspects.
We
It's
just
like I said in the beginning with a lot of this stuff. Even if when I first talked to Greg and when I was on the show the first time, it's like accountability
Yep.
is a very big part of this with us, just as people. Like I say, learning yourself, learning how you interact with people, who you are as a person, learning what triggers you. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? To that extent too, because life is a never-ending process of us learning about ourselves. But if we shut ourselves off to how we interact with people, how people treat us, and learning how to navigate those avenues, that's what makes it harder for us to enter into relationships. That's what makes it harder for us to actually be quote unquote selfless. And before we go off on tangent about selfless, what I mean about selfless is not with everything that you do, because you still got to worry about you. What I mean by being selfless in certain situations is being willing to disregard how you feel for a moment so that you can take into account how someone else actually feels. That's what I mean about being selfless. You don't have to just give up your whole life for a person. That's wild. I don't know anybody who would ever give up their whole life for anybody. So even when you look at an example of Christ, like I said, an example, he did things to where he put other people ahead of him, but he still took care of himself as well. So that's not to say, because we have to, let's be realistic. We know that there are still a lot of holes and gaps in different things. But when you actually look at people as a whole, we do things to take care of ourselves. You know what I mean? But sometimes we just have to let the guard down and say, all right, let's be willing to just not look at us for a moment and listen to what somebody is saying, so we can at least try, because nobody's perfect.
Absolutely.
We got to try to respond to somebody's needs. Try.
You know,
what's up, Nat?
No, I just am saying bye. I have class, guys, so I have to get off.
You have no class? No, I'm sorry. I'm joking.
So you have no class.
Good night, Nye. Good night.
See you, Nye.
Bye-bye. But you know what? There's a video that they have on Oprah.com, and it's one with her and Iyanla Vanzant, and they talk about being selfish. And she said it's not being selfish, it's being self-full. You know, and the best analogy I love when something just like blow my mind, and it makes so much sense. You know, she asked everybody, how many people in the room are everything to everybody, and everybody raised her. She said, you just give and give and give. And she said, that's not good. And she mentioned something called A Course in Miracles. I've never heard of that. But she said, when you give to the point where, let me say, when you give to the point where, when you give to the point where you have nothing left, you make that other person a thief, and they don't even know it. When you give, when you give away what you're supposed to have, I have to put, Greg, I'm gonna put it on your page, and you can. But when you give of yourself, excuse me, if you give of yourself to the point where you give yourself to the point where you give away what you need, you made the other person a thief, and they don't even know it. She said, in the Bible it says, my cup runneth over. Everything in the cup is for me. What flows out is for y'all. That means you ain't supposed to give up everything. You ain't supposed to give it all up. So, and that you have to bring into relationships, because relationships are complicated, and relationships are give and take. But absolutely, I'm like, whoa, that changed the way I saw a lot of stuff. You know, I cut out a whole lot of money I gave back. You think that's gonna make that person better, and it doesn't. Well, I'm gonna stop buying shoes. Oh God, my heart. I'm gonna stop buying. I'm gonna stop buying shoes because that didn't work. So I'm not selfish, but it's called being self-full. I'm self-full. So I'll send it to you too. I'm gonna call him Dr. Coach Jeff.
Dr. Coach.
Dr. Coach.
I had to learn that too, Suzette. Because I'm a giver, and I will give and give, and then I'm like, okay, wait a minute. Now I'm going without, and but I have to.
You can't get it to save your life. You can't find it.
Yeah.
So and I now find myself. At first, I had to catch myself. I said, wait a minute. I bought some more water. I told you, I'm gonna go get my water while y'all talking. But I found myself, and I had to catch myself. I said, wait a minute. I don't want to do that. So I don't. Greg, send me that. So, but yeah, it's really something. And in relationships, you have to be particularly careful, because it's like it's a what's the thing called, a teeter-totter. Where you're gonna fall off, but then you don't want to give enough where you're just gonna be hanging.
Oh, the seesaw.
Yeah, what did I say? Teeter-totter.
You're saying
seesaw. That's right. Sorry. But yeah, I just like I said, I just talk about me and Donnell. Donnell has so many layers, and we've just not gotten to the point where he understands what it is, and we work through that. And let me tell you, and I'll say this too. I absolutely do not take advantage of anything that he is gracious enough to give me, I don't expect anything.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's
That's
good.
good, yeah.
Yes.
So if I'm blessed enough for him to think about me to get me something, I'm grateful, and I let him know that all the time. That. I guess that might take him to a better place when we can't see each other like this. Work and stuff is going on. He knows that. So and I talk to him every morning, and I ask how he's doing. He doesn't split his hand open again, and ask how he. What's that? But you have to you just have to care for people. But as I said, I'm not gonna nobody should be giving themselves. Oh, I'm not giving yourself away.
Yeah.
Give to the point that you have nothing to give, and you can't even give yourself, and it's just out there, with
I've
nothing.
been guilty of that.
Yeah.
Yep.
I've been
Yep.
guilty of
I
that when you,
did that.
because
I watch that at least once a month, just so I can remember.
that's what's up.
Put together.
Suzette, send that to all of us if you can, please.
Yeah.
That.
Yeah,
And
everybody's asking for it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Burnout is real, baby. Burnout is
Yeah.
real.
And the way she explained it was it was simple. And if your mind is clear, that's another thing too. If your mind is clear and you're open to hear something, that at that one particular time I wasn't thinking about nothing. And when it came, I was like, man, wow, the truth,
The truth.
the truth,
The truth.
hashtag that.
The truth with an F. Truth.
Telling you.
Yeah, but yeah, that was really something. I'm saying, what I have to send to you in the messenger?
You can, something like that. But let me, we'll work it out.
You
Just tell us what send it to me, and I'll send it to everyone else.
good. Thank you.
We started off talking about withholding sex in a relationship.
Oh, I missed that part.
Yeah, well, check this lady out right here.
Uh-oh.
Right back, DopelivenTV.
Oh Lord.
Are you withholding sex from your spouse? Are you crazy, husband? Are you crazy, wife? Do you know what you are doing? 1 Corinthians chapter 7 said your body doesn't belong to you, boo-boo. No, it belongs to your spouse. So because you mad, because you tired, because you want to get revenge, you're upset, that is no excuse to withhold sex from your spouse. As a matter of fact, you need to hear this and hear it clear, because God gave us a warning. He said, when you withhold from sex, the enemy will come in like a flood and tempt you for your inconsistency. And it will be your own fault why your marriage is destroyed. All because you decided to withhold sex from your spouse. Don't do that. Don't do that. That ain't right. That ain't right. Go ahead, love on your spouse. Be intimate. Forgive. Let it go. Whatever you need to do it, confront it, deal with it, and get over with it, and get to having some sex up in here. I'm Mrs. Toy Banks, the world's most satisfied wife. In for Better Wife, Better Life. Help.
Woo, child. Shut
Come
up.
on back, bro. Come on back.
Well, Big Mama,
What's that?
as Big
What's
Mama
that?
say, well, stop Peter.
Oh Lord.
Looked at it and said, preach. Lorraine says she's guilty of that. It can take a toll on her.
Man.
Pull it, baby.
And Greg, when we said that earlier, I was gonna bring that up. I'm so glad you played that video, because I was gonna say that earlier, but we was all giving our stuff in, so I wanted to wait till the right time. Yes, that video right there is definitely the core comment of the night.
Yes,
because
sir.
The thing is, see so many people today always like to look at the Bible with so much ownership, or somebody trying to have control and all this other stuff. But she ain't lying. I went and I scrolled to 1 Corinthians chapter 7, 4 through what was that, 6. I did that right before here, and I said we're gonna hit that today, because that's the truth. Your body does belong to your spouse. Like I said earlier, when you married, the marriage bedroom is undefiled, yo. You know what I mean? You don't break the covenant, yo. That's the thing. You supposed to enjoy your mate. Have you ever wondered why when you link up with your spouse, them endorphins kick in? You able to tap into that intimacy? It feel good to you because you out here, you with the right person. God told if God truly you are with that person. Let me tell you something. Y'all come together. I don't care what you was thinking about. Sometimes that may be what you needed to squash that problem right there.
Exactly.
That may be what you needed to say, baby, I'm sorry. You know what? I was stupid. And I ain't gonna ever do that again. Girl, let somebody take over.
I know.
Because that just spoke to my whole spirit right there.
I'm
Okay.
gonna say it again before we leave, man, because and did you hear how she closed it out? She said, Mrs. whatever her name is, the world's most satisfied wife.
Yeah, ain't it? She let it be known, because you could tell that is healthy. It is something that's not abused in the marriage. It's healthy. You go ahead, you look at your partner, you be like, I know what's wrong with you. You know, baby, you might need a little something out here.
Right.
You know, you're right. You right. Well, come on, let me bring you a little something up. You know,
Junction.
there you go. Ain't nothing wrong with it. I'm telling you, as married couples and spouses, we have to stop being so scared to talk about sex. Christians must stop being so scared to talk about something that's supposed to be enjoyable, fun, and bring a level of comfort and a happiness and fun to the marriage, yo.
Hey, just like Steve Harvey said at the what was it, the Mega Fest? When he said, all y'all remember that time about y'all ain't having sex. That's all these little Christians got around. You got all the kids at church. All the little Christians, all y'all having sex around here.
But
you know
exactly.
What? You also miss the opportunity when I hear girls say that all the time. I ain't gonna give them that. Well, girl, you know what? They didn't put the lock on. You know, everybody.
Exactly.
Man, you ain't even have to get out here now and you don't even have to pay for it. You kidding me? But you know, you also, it's just you have to be. You know, you miss your opportunity at intimacy at the highest point.
Definitely.
You miss it all the way. You know, when you're, like you said, when you're blessed enough to be able to meet somebody that checks all the boxes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You gonna act a fool about a box you ain't.
Hey.
Come on now.
Look, family member looked in and says, I knew someone where their mom taught them that sex was nasty.
Oh, no.
Issue in her marriage.
And that is the prop. Who was that? You, Marcella? Go ahead.
No, that was Luke Thinner, but I'm looking at something that says sex is not sin within the context of marriage. It is the very act that unifies us as one flesh and one team. And I was trying to find some old notes, but I remember a sermon where it said that sex between a married couple is actually a form of worship.
Yep.
And God,
there you go.
Bless it. Yes.
There you go.
I've heard that. Roberta Coleman says that's true what she said. I don't think us as women always withhold sex. Our emotions are attached to our sex drive. So it's the mood. Happy wife, happy life. I hate that, Roberta Coleman. I love your thought. Okay, but I don't like that saying happy
saying it because it stems on one person.
One person. Thank you.
Okay, happy spouse, happy house. Is that better?
There you go.
Okay.
That's it.
Change it up, Roberta. Yes, happy wife, happy. What about the husband? What if he's unhappy? All the while, every day he's going around saying, okay, yes, dear, okay, man. Boy, I wish I would see a dude carrying his wife's purse all around the store, man. I'm gonna slap him.
I hate that. You see a lot of folks do that.
I will hold it for you. But when she goes to this store in the corner of the store and it goes to the next one of the store and I'm walking around with it,
nah. Other day.
Put it in the car, take it with you.
His job ain't care. That's your purse. I would my purse no way. No.
Boy says no, yes, man.
And now. And to be honest with you, Greg, I think that is healthy.
Carrying a purse?
No. I think it's healthy to ask a lot of questions, a whole lot of questions, just so that you can get an understanding and get a better formation of where we at and where we're going and what we're doing.
Exactly.
$1 had, and I've seen that one too. That was a good one. $1 said when you meet somebody, you have. Greg, didn't I send it to you?
You did.
I did.
Yeah.
You remember it?
Mm-hmm.
You sure?
No,
You got to look like, yeah.
no,
But
you know what, Suzette, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm working on probably an hour and a half, maybe 2.
Fumes.
So I'm on some fumes. But go ahead.
but
'Cause I love being with you guys, and this is why we do this, man. Because you guys bring me that. Y'all give me that spirit. Y'all soothe my soul. So let's go.
okay. Well, Creflo Dollar talks about the single people dating. And he
Mhm.
talks about when you meet somebody, you have to ask 1,000 questions. So you know exactly who it is that you have that you know that you're with. He talked about questions that you know is in the way in the back of your head. And he asked me, he said, one of them was, what's your name? Is that your government name? Is that your daddy really your daddy? It was 1,000 questions. It was all kinds of how's your credit? Do you have life insurance? If you died today, would you be able to get married? Yeah, it was a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I'll send you that one as well to send to the group.
Send it to the group. Roberta says, if a man has a decent wife, if she's happy for the most part, everything's going to be good. But Roberta, once again, you have great comments. I agree with you 100%. Okay, but there's another side to that. If you have a decent husband and he's happy, you know, is everything going to be good still?
Because remember, when we talk about these certain things too, even in the Bible, it always gives a stipulation for both man and woman. Nobody is left out. Nobody is left out. So whenever
you're not wrong.
Yeah, nothing wrong. You're not wrong. But to always remember that there, like Greg is saying, there is a flip side. Because it's a video I watched that I feel that this has women running rampant, and I want you, Marcella and Suzette, to really hone in on this for me, because I'm gonna tell you my perspective on it. It was a video when Kirk Franklin was sitting down and he was talking. I believe that was TD Jakes or something like that, and he was talking about, well, you can't figure out why a man he wants so many things from you, because he didn't lay down with this woman and this woman and this woman and this woman, and it's all of these spirits. So now you got all these spirits. He's trying to fulfill this. He's trying to fulfill that. And now you have all of this, what do you call it? These soul ties, blah, 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 blah. Now I'm going to tell you something. Okay, ladies, and I'm saying this wholeheartedly. A lot of times when it comes to our prominent preachers and people who are in fame, who actually say something, because since there are a lot more women in the church who outweigh men, a lot of women tend to stay stuck on certain things where you can the word actual soul tie, we know that sex is a spiritual thing, but the actual word soul tie is not in the Bible. The actual word soul tie is not there. I feel that people create things and it becomes a fad and people latch on that, because now to some woman who's at home and looking at some man who has slept with these women before her, he looking for this. What if that man isn't really looking at that because you looking at it as all them spirits? That's only one way to look at it. You looking at it as so many spirits, but you actually need to talk to that man and see what it truly is. That's about it. Same with the women. I'm not gonna sit up here and say that a woman wants all this because she slept with so many men and he didn't fulfill this, and this.
Right.
My thing is, you learn stuff as you go through experiences. The word, so I'm trying to tell you, the word soul tie is not in the Bible, and I feel
it's not.
A lot of women have done is they've hooked on it. And you want to know the reason why you can't be delivered from the quote unquote soul tie? Because what you're doing is you're focusing on something that man put a focus on, honed in, and made to justify something that's not even biblical. Justify a saying that's not even biblical. And we don't really understand that Satan play a role in that type of stuff in your mind. Get you to say, well, this can mean this and this can mean that. But focus on the subject at hand. If we're gonna talk about it, focused on what it's really talking about. Like the stuff that they talk about in the church, like sexual morality and this and that. Focus on that. Don't be so quick to call it a soul tie, because now we talk about something that somebody else is giving you with an opinion on, and now you're trying to relate scripture to it.
There you go.
So I just want y'all perception, because I hear a lot of women talking about that, and women latch on it so tough to where they start relating it to everything. But I say, if you really want to know, just study what sex is in the Bible.
Yeah. Go ahead, Suzette.
No, I was just gonna say, Pastor, one time, if you really want to know
No problem.
how to make love, or what love is all about, to read the Songs of Solomon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Songs of Solomon. Yeah, yeah. I read
It's a love story.
Yeah, it's a love story, and and that's the way that's the way it should be. You know, that's the way it should be. But that's all I had to say. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Marcy.
Okay, on soul ties. It was a big thing back in, I want to say, about the 80s, 90s, because Michael Pitts had a book, Breaking Ungodly Soul Ties. And I kind of did a study like on that. And I know what you're saying as far as sex is concerned. A lot of people tie that into sex, but and it's not biblical. It's not in the Bible. But the thing about that is, it's not sex, just sex. It can be pretty much like relationships, like it can be relationships on jobs, relationships with people, period. Is there someone that you are so having issues, you having issues and baggage in your life because of someone else that was in your life previously, and maybe some things
That's what I like.
that have happened to you?
There you go.
Because I took a class, and that was one of the books we had to read. And for our, what we had to do is really pray. And we were told to like get what's that, wife beater shirt, and cut it in fat strips. And during that week, as we prayed and just asked God, what are the soul ties attached to us? Write it down. So I'm like, shoot, I ain't got to cut up no strips, because I'm thinking it was sex. But then female names came, and I'm like, I went to the pastor. I said, hold up, I'm not gay. I have never thought about a female. And he was like, who is that person? I said, well, that's an old boss that I had a lot of issues with. And there was just different things that wasn't even really like tied to a person. It was just experiences that I had. And so that, like you said, is not in the Bible, soul ties. And it's not, you shouldn't just throw it with sex. But they, a lot of times they say, yeah, well, all the spirits, I do believe in the spirits and all that, and transference and stuff. But they do, it's like, okay, so you laid with this person. So now you lay with everybody else that they didn't been with, and things like that. But all I want to say about the soul ties is it's not sex. It's
And what's biblical about what you said, Marcella? I'm sorry, Suzette. I'm sorry. I just want to say this very quickly. And what's biblical about what you just said, Marcella, is the fact in Scripture where it says, "Bad company corrupts good manners."
Yep.
That is what's biblical about what you just said.
Right, that part.
So see, that's exactly what I mean. You see how you took the word, you said, okay, it's not just sex. You know what? It could be with who you're around, your personal experience. See, that's how you make something like that biblical. So you're able to flip it, you communicate it, and now you say, this is where it is in Scripture. This is you. So don't put the label of that on it, but but teach people that your experiences with people will shape how you feel and how you come across and what you want of other people. Okay, I'm sorry, Suzette.
No, finally, y'all coming in today, boy. Let's go, Suzette.
Ask the question. Since soul ties is a worldly made up word, then what is the difference between? I mean, what would you think, Dr. Coach Jeff? What would you think? The meaning? What is the difference between the soul ties that they're talking about and spirit?
Well, it's not. I think what they try to do is they try to give spirits are in the Bible,
right?
You know what I mean? It specifically talks about spirits in the Bible. It does. Even the ones that when Mary Magdalene, Christ cast him out to the pig went off the cliff. They said, "Who are we? We are legion. We are many." Blah blah blah. You know what I mean? So spirits are real. You know what I mean? But when we start talking about how that is and works with people, that needs to be distinguished better. See, they try to relate it to one particular thing, You know what I mean? And hit it. And that's why I said, with it being with so many women in church, it's so easy to just tie sex to something and say, boom, now we hitting it. Because sex is the highest thing. It is a spiritual connection. That's the highest form of a spiritual connection you can have with somebody, through sex. So I see why somebody would say it that way, but you can't just hit it with that. We have to do it.
There's more to it.
Yeah, it's more to it. You got to do, you're going to talk about all how spirits can transfer and how spirituality is real, you have to tie in every notion to it. And like we said earlier, that's why I'm saying that it's connected to your experiences, what you hear from people, everything. You know what I mean? So that's the big it's not more so that there's a difference in I believe you're trying to say the same thing. But what we're doing is we're honing so much on the worldly aspect that it gets lost in how to talk about it biblically.
Right.
It gets lost in translation how to talk about it biblically.
All right, hold on real quick. I got one more video I want to play. So, and if we got time, we'll squeeze old girl back in. But we were talking yesterday off camera, and Roberta says it's a new age word, but spirit more biblical. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking off camera, off the show, and Chris had said he was going to send us this video. I don't know if you all got a chance to watch that video.
I did.
Yeah, I did.
I did. It was a beautiful
It was
video.
interesting. Yeah, I liked it.
Well, I want to share it with everybody right now, okay? And we'll comment a little bit on this, okay? But it was a beautiful.
Absolutely.
It was.
Yes.
It was.
You all check this out. It's Dope Living TV.
The joy of watching this.
Something about this couple. Everybody looking at it like, oh wow, that's the game that they playing. Hopefully they'll be able to get them shirts and get through this difficult time in this game. But the way that I'm looking at it is every Black African American couple, every Mexican couple, when you go through obstacles, as long as you have a strong king, a strong man that's leading and guiding you, and he's figuring out different things, he's praying about it, he's stepping through different things, he's squeezing you through different things, he's willing to bend and break, and he's taller and bigger than you, but he's showing you that he has you. The whole time you're just trying to stay calm. Trust that he has you. Trust that he has your back. You continue to be submissive. When he say step here, you do that. When he say go down here, you do that. Why? Because you feel in your heart that you have found the man that can lead you and your babies. So you never give up. You allow him to keep trying. Because if he's bigger than you, taller than you, stronger than you, and you have put your trust in him, you're going to believe that he's going to get y'all through this. See, sometimes we have forgot to be just a woman, be submissive, and let our men lead and guide us, because we find ourselves getting in relationships with men that is weaker than us. We find ourselves getting in relationships with men that God did not ordain to be with us. In a relationship, you're going to go through your ups and downs, my God, your ins and your outs, your overs and unders, your trials and tribulations. But hold on. And as a Black couple, that's what we do. We struggle. We go through the pain. We go through the hurt. Look at her laughing. We try to make the fun out of it. We try to see what we can do. But if you notice, they never separated. My God. So if you don't see I'm telling y'all, if y'all don't see the love and the passion, the obedience, the abundance in this relationship, baby, I don't know. We just, look, watch this. Look at this. Look, step now. Oh, he said, baby, you got it. Now watch her. Watch how she get out of it. When I say, and then if you stick with it and you stay prayed up and you continue to do what it is that God will do, he will set you free. He will give you everything your heart desires in your relationship and your finances. Black couples rock.
Can you see it?
Don't get no better than that, man.
Sure don't.
That was good.
I love it.
I know you but what's their name? Do you know the name of them?
Cephas and Riri. I don't know. I don't.
I'm sure find it so I can pass it on.
I have no idea, but I can send you the video if you don't have it.
But if you can send it to me like in a text message, because I have it on the messenger.
Okay, I can try to do that for you.
Okay, thank you.
Most definitely.
I just want to spread the love.
Oh, no doubt. Okay. I mean, I think we here at DopelivenTV Live, man, we are trying to not only show people the love that we have for obviously for one another, okay, because we are discussing things, we do have differences of opinion, but we are still here loving up on each other, okay, but we're also trying to show them that there's other ways to do this. There's other ways to do this life. We got life coach Jeff Ralliford, okay? And Jeff, briefly, once again, man, and I want people to always understand what a life coach is. Can you tell people what you bring to the table? And not saying anything about that lady, okay, but what you bring to the table as a life coach.
All right. Well, with the life coach, like I explained, I say, what I do is I make sure I ask the right questions to people to make sure that they fulfill their personal wants and needs. It's not about me giving them direction. It's not about me telling them what to do. I make sure that you stick to what you said you were going to do, because it's all about you fulfilling your wills, your desires, your purpose that's actually going to make you happy. I have nothing to do with that. Only you. So that's what I love about it. I don't have to direct you. I don't have to tell you, hey, do this. I hold you accountable. I hold you accountable. Because if you don't follow what makes you happy and what you want to do to achieve your goals, you don't do me a disservice. You can pay my money and I'm here to help you. You doing yourself a disservice. So that's what I do. I make sure that you get the most that you can get out of your life to achieve and fulfill your goals.
And brother, we're again, as I said it yesterday, and I'll say it again today, and each time that you're on here, we're blessed to have you on here because you give a different perspective. All right, you're older than what you are, okay, as far as this life game goes. And now y'all watch what I do, and then as we transition over to Suzette, who is a talk show host.
Oh yeah,
she does the same thing, okay, but she does it in a more humorous way. She allows you to laugh at your mistakes, laugh at some of your issues. And Suzette, tell everybody how you do that.
Well, I just enjoy people, and I just take people. It's one thing to talk to somebody and make them understand what you're saying, but you really have to go to where they are. It's easier for you to go where they are rather than for them to come where I am. So that's the fun in it, because you never know where you go. When you meet somebody, you don't know where it's going to take you. So and then I always find a way, because I'm gonna tell you something. There are a whole lot of people out here. They hurt. It's a lot of hurt people, and these hurt people are hurting people. Yeah. So a lot of I just always I try to always keep a good spirit, because I know that God has blessed me, and I cannot leave that alone. I don't negate that. I don't cheapen it. I'll say it to anybody. Listen, I am a blessed woman if I'm able to do anything, because I know that without him, I don't blink my eyes, I don't open my mouth, I don't do any of the things that I do, and I take none of that for granted. So I just believe that if I maintain that, if I'm able, because I will maintain that type of a spirit, that people would like to talk to me. I talk to perfect strangers. I talked to a lady about 2 weeks ago over the phone when I was paying a bill. I said, girl, ain't you tired? I said, don't you want to go home? She just started laughing. I said, girl, I'm glad I'm off work. And then she started talking about the people at work was messing around. I'm like, messing her around. I'm like, what? I said, girl, let me pray with you right quick. And I did. And she said, I am so glad that you did. She said, I feel so much better. But people are hurt out of here. Mm-hmm. And my thing is, talk show, I just want to be able for that hour, that half hour, to be able to just forget about everything, or to learn something that you can apply to your own life. I'm gonna keep listening to Reverend Dr. Coach Jeff. I'm gonna be good at this. Good baby. Yes, I'm gonna be good.
Yeah, and see, now watch how I do this. Again, we go upstairs to Marcella, who as you guys are coaching and talking to people as a personality, Marcella is a coach as well. All right, but she doesn't have that title, but people come to her because of who she is and because of the aura that she has. All right, am I correct, Marcella?
Correct.
So tell everybody how you draw people in to at least guide them a little differently.
I I'm a talker, and just for some reason, people come to me and I try to speak life to them. If they come with something negative, I always say I speak life, I speak love into them. I bring God in it. In the hospital, all of the nurses, I was speaking to them. They were trying to come to me because of what I just gone through, but I was constantly talking to them like it's okay and encouraging them. And then they would just share different things. For some reason, people like to share their life stories. Okay, look, then we ain't got to tell you about my business. And so I was, and just able to speak life and love to different people and into their situations. And they would, the nurses were just pretty much, we're here to help you, and here you are in your bed helping us. And that's just, I've been like that all my life, and that's just who I am. I love love.
And see, and you all see what I did here. See, it was like connecting the dots. Okay, it's like tic-tac-toe board with a couple of the squares missing. And we'll talk about them when they come up. But I love to end the show with on this positive note, letting people know that there are people out there who don't have to care about you at all. We don't have to do any of this that we're doing right here, all right? But we do this because we love people. We love to help people. And whether you agree with anything that we said, we've given you 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different perspectives on how it should be done. We're not saying we're right. We're just saying this is what works for us. All right. And if you can take a lesson from something that worked for us and apply it to you, then hopefully, you know, because we're put here for a purpose. All of us here are put here for a purpose. And we're here to do exactly what Jeff is doing, exactly what Suzette's doing, exactly what Marcella's doing. We're here to inform people and to not only entertain. Okay, yes, this is entertaining conversation, right? But we're also here to inform. All right. There's a lot of stuff going on in the world today, and we need a release. We need some answers. All right. We have to, as Suzette has said before, we have to search ourselves to find out who we are so that we can give to others. And you guys do it so very well. And you know, I just sit here and I listen sometimes, and I'm you know, even though I'm tired as hell, man. It's like, hey, I gotta hear it. This drives me right here. I do everything I can in order to get here so that I can be with you people and be with you people out there so we can discuss life, period. Lori says that's good. We need more people like the 3 of you. Thank you. She just threw me out, though. That's all right, though. She talking about the 3 of y'all, okay?
Because we wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for you.
Oh, no,
this is true.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
Give it up for Greg. Yeah.
Give it up for Greg. Yeah.
Don't do that. Don't do that. The core moment of the day was when I clicked on and Jeff popped on, and Marcella popped on, and Suzette popped on, and Maurice popped on, and Gina popped on, and Gina and Uji pops on, and Chris pops on. We have a team, and Nyla pops on. I'm not. She said nothing but love for me. Too late, but it's a beautiful thing, man. And I gotta say this also before we get out of here. Look, Dinner. Roberta Coleman, Lori, Angie, who else we got on here? Zaya, Ty Sullivan, you know, and other people. It's a lot of people. It's just too many to read off, but all these guys here is what I read off. The ones on my phone, you know, charge it to my head and my heart. I love everybody, and we are here for you.
And I'll give you a new wig next time. You know this is a wig.
Is that a wig?
Absolutely.
I thought that was your hair.
I didn't think that was.
No, we didn't think that was a wig today.
The wig. You'll never see my real hair. I hate my real hair. I call him barrette because you had it. Yeah, my latest barrette. Never mind.
No, hey, Suzette, keep changing, okay? Everybody, I need you guys to subscribe to each and every person except for me. Subscribe to their platforms, okay? Make sure that you follow them, okay? Yes, they'll be here on DopelivenTV, of course, but follow them on their pages. See what they do. Jeff, we got to get you on YouTube, man, and everything, doing those daily things. If they can do like that, okay, you do it 100% better, and I already know that. So, you know, let me know. Let me know when you're ready to do 5 or 6 of them in a row. We're gonna knock them out.
Okay.
I'm ready to put a studio in my computer room. I'm excited.
Yeah. Let's go. Got to get Simply Suzette going, okay? Jeff, how can I reach you?
One thing at a time.
You can reach me, once again, I'm Redirect, Regroup, Refocus.
Redirect, Regroup, Refocus.
Yes, Redirect, Regroup, Refocus. And you want to type in, I'm on Facebook, RRR Inc. 19. I'm on Instagram too, RRR Inc. 19. And I also have a nonprofit called R3 Guide Services as well. It's life coaching to people who might not be able to afford it at a higher price. We go income driven base and everything. I have a scale made up and everything, and you can sit down with me for cheaper sessions. I have packages as well. That website is r3guideservices.com. Once again, r3guideservices.com. And you can email me there. Anything, you can give me a call. My number's on there too. Yeah.
Shoot me all of those links so that I can put them on the crawl, and then next time I'll have some of them running. Yes, Suzette.
Okay.
Dr. Jeff, listen. Do you have a TikTok account? Do you do anything on TikTok?
I do not have TikTok.
We're gonna
tell me to get a TikTok.
Huh?
We're gonna hook all that up.
Okay.
Yeah. If you did one positive quote a day,
Mm-hmm.
people, you would be surprised at the people that you'd reach.
Oh, he's gonna go viral. Trust me, he's gonna go viral. Not because he's looking for something from that. Because
no.
We need the world to hear him.
No, you do it because people need him, not because of him needing them.
Absolutely. No, I'm just saying.
You did it 3 times a day.
The world needs to hear what Jeff has to say. So
Greg, that goes for you as well.
Do that.
Motivational.
Do that. Don't do it.
There you go.
What's wrong?
Because I don't, y'all know, look, I do this because I do it. This is about everybody else that's on the panel but me. I just moderate. That's all I do.
It's okay.
He want to create an opportunity for other people.
Good. That's a blessing.
Yeah, call it what you want, but I'm the buffoon on the show. Okay, I'm good with that role.
But you do hold core water really good, though.
I hold the hell out this core water, man.
Because you will throw that up, honey. Yes, I did.
Cora, I love you guys. Thanks for the anyway.
Off the ship.
I thank everybody for coming through today. This is Dope Living TV Live. I think if I can get some sleep, we're gonna be on tomorrow. What, Suzette? Damn.
I just said bye.
I'm messing with you, Suzette. You know.
Oh my Lord.
I'm messing
with you.
Let's get him.
I'm messing.
Don't mess with him. Leave him alone.
I know Greg just sleepy.
Greg,
he is. I
was asleep 30 minutes ago. I'm on air right now, but it's all good, okay? Because why? Because I'm with family, and family holds you up, okay? And sometimes the family that you create is even closer than the family that you have.
Hey,
yeah, you're right about that.
That is so true.
Core comment of the day. Where that? Up.
All right, y'all, we're gonna get out of here, okay? That's Jeff. Jeff, wait, before we go, hold on. Stop, Suzanne. Take us out.
I always say, man, create the day you want to create. Make it a good one. You are in control of your own life. It ain't because of mommy, daddy, your auntie, or whoever. Stay focused. Stay focused on your goals. Do what you want to do and accomplish. And always remember, redirect, regroup, refocus. That's all.
Redirect, regroup, refocus. Do I need to play that girl one more time? Y'all think woman says about withholding?
Hey, that was beautiful. Oh man, I'm telling you, that did something to my whole spirit, Jesus.
Hold on,
your whole spirit.
One more time. I know it's 9:04, but one more time, it might wake me up a little bit.
That's gonna put you right to bed, ain't it?
It might wake me up. It might wake me up. I got time to do it anyway. One more time. Let's check this out.
Are you withholding sex from your spouse? Are you crazy, husband? Are you crazy, wife? Do you know what you are doing? 1 Corinthians chapter 7 said your body doesn't belong to you, boo-boo. No, it belongs to your spouse. So because you mad, because you tired, because you want to get revenge, you're upset, that is no excuse to withhold sex from your spouse. As a matter of fact, you need to hear this and hear it clear, because God gave us a warning. He said, when you withhold from sex, the enemy will come in like a flood and tempt you for your inconsistency. And it will be your own own fault why your marriage is destroyed. All because you decided to withhold sex from your spouse. Don't do that. Don't do that. That ain't right. That ain't right. Go ahead, love on your spouse. Be intimate. Forgive. Let it go. Whatever you need to do it, confront it, deal with it, and get over with it, and get to having some sex up in here. I'm Mrs. Toy Banks, the world's most satisfied wife. In for Better Wife, Better Life. Help.
She said she was satisfied.
Well, now.
Oh. Yes.
Where
yes.
at? Where's she at?
But you know what? I bet she couldn't get 5 friends to get on there and agree with her.
Well, she got one right here.
Well, I'm talking about women. I'm sorry, I should have said women. I should.
Look, give me one of your wigs and lashes. She'll have
right,
one.
Right, honey.
Oh no!
You're not like a good old lash and a controlled curl, honey.
Look at her, got the final comment. She says, confront it, deal with it, forgive. Look, Denner, we love you. Thank you for always holding us down with these comments. Lori and everybody else that's on here, we love you guys. Roberta Coleman, thanks for joining us. Hey, man, this is Dope Living TV Live. We will see you guys hopefully tomorrow. If we don't, then we're going to see you Monday with some more life. Life. I got to change, I got to change this opening now.
I got a question.
No, you don't.
My question.
No.
With this.
No.
No, you got nothing to do with this.
No.
Whiteboard.
White boy?
Whiteboard.
That's a rapper.
A whiteboard like you would have in a, well.
I know what you're talking about. Go ahead, Suzanne.
Yeah, how much is it? It's like $8.
You think I don't work at Walmart? Come on, you gonna ask me to... Oh my God.
Something like that, girl.
Well, let me go down to Reverend Dr. Coach down here. What you got to say about that, Coach?
Something like that. It might be about $8.
Okay, say about what? All you do is ask how much the whiteboard costs.
Thank you, Dr. Coach.
What you
Greg. I love you all the same.
Wait a minute though. What's the question?
I was going to ask you, was it expensive? It was like $8 because I'm told you I'm building a studio. I'm gonna do one.
I will get you a whiteboard when I come into town.
No, actually, I need.
Matter of fact,
I'll get them.
I'll get a white boy with a white board. I'll let him bring it to you.
You're great.
Oh man.
But we really need to do that class reunion thing before we get exiled.
I'm not there yet.
That's right.
Hey, Suzette, if they want to exile me,
they're not gonna exile you. They'll exile me.
I'm cool with it. Them old bastards. I ain't gonna. Them old lock the door. Them old. Take the chains off the door. Sam's. You want to jump? Do it expeditiously. Anyway,
Dr. Coach, look how sleepy he is. Look at him.
Man.
I got more.
I'm so glad you can't see me. I am like.
I got impressions. Y'all want to hear some impressions?
They got Chick-fil-A opening up in Cherville on Indianapolis Boulevard.
Hey, what does
Gary's popcorn is coming too.
What does they I heard that they're also going to have in Gary some of those little scooters.
Yes.
Why?
To get around what?
Why?
So what scooters in Miller?
Why?
They're building Miller up.
Look, they need about 3 more buses. I don't know why.
They're building. They're building Miller up like Coney Island and Navy Pier.
Miller is Gary. Miller is Gary. Okay, you gonna ride around in them scooters like you in Chicago?
You know,
okay. Leave one laying around.
You know, when I was working in bank, people talking about they was sending deposit slips through the drive up, talking about they live in Miller Beach, Indiana. I said, what in the? Because it makes me mad. Because they use all our fire, all our government services. They try, and then that's Gary. But then you want to live out here in Miller and want to act like you. And I would get on there just nice. I tap on there. I said, "Ma'am." Oh, I said, "Ma'am," and I tap on thing. I said, "Miller Beach is that by Gary?" And she said, "Yeah." I said, "Oh, that is Gary, right?" And she said, "Yeah." I said, "Okay."
You know, if people change their whole walk because they from Miller. You know, they live in Miller. Change their whole walk and attitude. Okay, I don't live in Gary. I live in Miller. Okay,
I live in Miller, Indiana. Is what I've heard.
Yeah, they call it Miller, Indiana. I'd be like,
yeah, Miller, Indiana. Put that on their check. Don't do that. Don't do that to me. Put that on your check. I'm a Miller, Indiana. Girl, I live 1 block away from Miller, and I still live in Gary, and you do too.
Everybody have made that be a lesson to you. Don't be hoity-toity. You from Gary.
Right.
Just because there's some water closer to you don't mean anything.
Talk about fake. Well, don't talk about fake. But fake acting people. That's what we need to talk about.
There you go. We ain't talking about the products. We talking about the personality.
Products, because I'm gonna do this.
They trying to be bougie.
That's all it is.
That's right, Marcel. They trying to be bougie.
Right.
TV live. We're gonna lead the bougie people.
I get up every.
But they watching too. So all the bougie people, we're gonna do a bougie show one day, and we all gonna have our noses up and our pinkies out, and we're gonna drink some tea, and we're gonna have some crumpets, and we're gonna be bougie, and we all gonna be doing it right from the city of Gary. Okay, this is Greg Gray. That's Jeff Relaford. This is Suzette Hayes. That's Marcella Amos, Uji, Chris, Gina, Maurice, Nyla. Hey man, it's the Dope Living TV Live family. We love you guys. We will see you guys tomorrow. All right.
Greg.
I'm going someplace. Peace.
My